All right, let's get real. Debt sucks. It sneaks up on you. It really drags you down. It steals your sleep. Hey, over here. But guess what? You don't have to live like that. In the next 10 minutes or so, I'm gonna show you 5 things you can do to kick debt's butt right out of this place. Let's get started. The first thing you need to do is figure out exactly where your money's going. And here's the easiest way to do it. Pull up your last couple bank statements and credit card statements. That's where we start. I want you to write down every single penny, but I want you to split it up into 4 buckets. Number 1, necessities. That's rent, groceries, utilities. Number 2, lifestyle. Dining out, streaming, hobbies, things like that. Number 3, the destructive stuff like subscriptions that you never use, impulse buys. Write those down and highlight those ones. And then last, insurance. Yep, even that. Circle anything that you think you can cut, renegotiate, or just discontinue. Like gym memberships that you don't use and you never have because you had this idea in January. How about Hulu? Who uses that? What I mean is any savings that you find that's going straight to debt. Let me give you an example. When I go through my budget, I always find things that we no longer use. I find subscriptions that we signed up for, like apps. My daughter has got a bunch of apps that somehow, I know they're supposed to be protected, she ends up signing up for, and we end up paying for it. That's a whole nother topic. These are the things that you will only find if you do this exercise. Now, after you find this, all of those extra things, those become money that you can recapture, money that can go to savings, money that can go to paying off other debts. They call that velocity. We could use velocity of money to pay off your debts. Now, let's get into the second part. I need you to list out your debts, and I need you to do this like a pro. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab a piece of paper and a pen, or open up a spreadsheet and list out every single debt that you have. For each one, here's what I need you to do. I need you to write down the name of the debtor, like who do you owe? Then I need you to write down the balance for that particular debt, followed by the interest rate you pay on that, and whether it's current or a future obligation. So what I mean by that is the duration. And then I also need you to write down the minimum payment. A lot of credit cards we're paying extra on. Well, I need to know the minimum. Seeing all that laid out is a game changer. Here's the reason why. Throughout life, we go through and we accumulate debts. Some of them are small ones. Some of them are just little credit cards that we had the intention of paying it off, and we forget about them. And then the next month, they creep up on us because then we use it again. And then the balance looks bigger. How many of you can relate to this? If you can, put I in the comments. I know this because this is exactly what I did. I would intend on paying a credit card off. But, things get in the way, a tax bill comes up, something happens at the house that you gotta pay for, and all of a sudden, your plan to pay it off is gone. But no big deal. You make whatever payment you can, and you wait another 30 days. But then when the statement comes next month, it's way bigger. You feel defeated. You feel like you failed. And all of a sudden now, the chance of paying it off is slim to none. And then that cycle just repeats. It just keeps going on and on and on. And that balance keeps going up and up and up. Listen, I know this is a fact. And I know a lot of you watching this, this is what's happening. You know why I know this? Because statistics don't lie. This is what's happened since COVID. Now, you know what else has happened since COVID? This YouTube channel has been growing. So let's get to that point. What you need to do right now is click that little subscribe button. That's right. Subscribe to this channel. And also there's a little bell up top. I need you to smash that bell so that every time I go live or put out new content, you're notified. You see, we help people get out of debt all the time. Matter of fact, we talk to over 200 people every single month about their money problems. And you know what most of them have a money problem about? Debt. They want to get out of debt. They want to pay off their mortgage. They want to pay off their credit cards. They want to pay off their cars because you know what? They're just sick of feeling stuck. So this is what we do every month. We've created technologies, we've created tools, and we've created a team that is there to just help you get out of debt. But we got to go to the next thing. Number 3 on the 5-step program. And this is, we got to pick your attack plan. And this is going to be super fun. Now, let me explain these different strategies. One of them you're probably familiar with, the snowball strategy, right? You put them from lowest to highest. But then there's the avalanche. It's like a snowball that's rolling down and creates an avalanche. Then there's cash flow index and the velocity banking strategies. You see, it doesn't matter which one you pick. Matter of fact, they're all going to accomplish the goal. Just Pick your fighter. Great. You picked that one? All right, I don't know why. Oh, Mortal Kombat, right? You like the sound of velocity? Perfect. And that brings me to number 4 out of the 5-step program. I like to call this one free up and funnel. Now, actually, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna cancel or you're gonna downgrade those destructive expenses. Call your insurance agent. Find out if there's a cheaper provider for that health insurance, for that car insurance, for that homeowner's insurance. Next, go to your internet and phone provider. They're always willing to negotiate, but you gotta get smart with this. If you're gonna negotiate these, you always gotta have multiple people that you're playing against one another. Play one insurance company against another. Make sure you got quotes from one and then go back to your insurance agent and be like, hey, I just got these quotes. Then they're gonna be motivated. Do the same thing with your internet provider or your phone provider. All of them have room to negotiate. You know how you know this? Because when you cancel, what are they doing? Calling you with a great offer. You're like, where was this offer before I canceled? Well, they could have done that, but you would have had to initiate it. The thing you gotta understand is all these people you're gonna call, we're all human. You gotta take the first step. Get on the phone with them. Explain things are rough right now. Explain what's going on in your life and explain that you've been doing some due diligence and some homework and getting quotes from other carriers and you found better rates. You see, that's the last thing. First, you want to get that human emotion, let them know that things are tough. Let them know what you're calling for. I need to reduce these costs. Oh, and by the way, I did a little homework and I found better rates than what you're providing me. So what's up, buddy? Come on. All right, now we're at the 5th step. This is the review, recapture, and repeat step. So what I want you to do is on your calendar, I want you to set a reminder for every 3 months. You're gonna rerun these numbers. You're gonna go in and you're gonna see how much you paid down. Now you're gonna be surprised if you do this properly with the recycle and recapture. What new cash did you free up? And did you take that extra freed up cash and apply that to the next targeted debt? See, that's where people make the mistake. They pay off the debt, but they don't rinse and repeat. They don't use the velocity. So let me give you a little bonus here. Make your money work. So instead of letting the cash earn 0% in a checking account, put it into a high yield savings account or put it into a specially designed dividend paying whole life insurance policy and then apply the infinite banking concept to it. Now I know you're probably like, well, what the heck is the infinite banking concept? So let me explain this. You're gonna change one thing. You're no longer gonna put money into the bank or the high yield savings because, well, you're just sick of the banks and they make all the money, not you. So you're gonna change where that savings goes, where that recaptured money goes. We're gonna put that into a specially designed and engineered whole life insurance policy. Now, I'm gonna kind of draw this. So this is the bucket where the money goes. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna move the money from that specially designed and engineered whole life. We can then move that money over here to pay off these debts and in whatever order or whatever strategy you picked. Now, whether or not you use this, paying off debt will happen, but this will make it happen even faster because now your money can work for you 24/7, earning uninterrupted compounding interest while still giving you access to your money. This is not a normal whole life that your broke-ass brother-in-law or broke-ass sister-in-law, funny how they're both broke, always tries selling you during the holidays and when you're around them. This is designed and engineered for high cash value. You will have access to that cash value immediately in the first 30 days. And depending on how the policy is designed and how much money you put into it, you're gonna have anywhere between 60 and roughly about 90% of your money to use right away. So even though it's less money than what you put in the bank, here's where you win. When you take money from the bank to pay off debts, that money leaves the high interest savings account and pays off debt, which means you no longer have the money in the account earning interest. So you stop the compounding effect. Now, let's go back over to that one change. We put the money in a specially designed whole life policy. When we take the money from that whole life, we don't take a withdrawal. You see, we borrow the money from the insurance company's general account. Really, what the insurance company does is lends you part of your death benefit while you're living. And they collateralize that loan by the amount of cash value you have in the account. The money you take out, even though you're taking a loan from the insurance company, and the insurance company is charging you simple interest on that loan, you get to use that money for 12 months without making any payments back to the insurance company. And they only charge the interest. So therefore, if you follow what I'm going to show you next, you get way ahead. Plus, remember I said you're not using your money. The money that went into that specially designed whole life, when you took the loan from it, all of your cash value still in that account earning guaranteed interest and dividends at usually a higher rate than what you're paying in interest. So now you're making the spread instead of the bank making the spread. And now your money's earning uninterrupted compounding interest 24/7. So now we've got that money that we took from the policy. We're gonna apply that to whatever strategy you picked. Now, when you pay the debts off, you're gonna take the same amount you were paying to that debt and you're gonna recycle and recapture that. We already talked about this, but now this is a good refresh and a good recap of this. When you paid off that Visa or whatever credit card you paid off, you freed up that cash flow. And that cash flow now, before it just went back into your bank account. So remember, let's do this again. Money starts in the policy, you take a loan from the policy, it pays off a debt. Now, it frees up some cash flow. That cash flow then goes back down here into the bank account, but it doesn't stay in the bank account. See, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have that money go back to the policy, because when you recycle and recapture the money into the policy, you're actually paying that principal down to the insurance company, meaning the insurance company is charging you simple interest on a declining balance, meaning your spread goes up and up over time. Yeah, this is just mathematics, folks. So, as you can see from this diagram, your money's just going around and around in the circle. But every time you pay off a debt, it creates more cash flow to create more velocity to pay the loan down to the insurance company. Every year, the insurance company's paying you a dividend as long as they declare one, which they've never missed one, and then it just goes around. So it's like Monopoly. Every time you go around the board, you're pass and go. So what step are you gonna knock out first? Drop it down in the comments. All right, so now is the time for you to get started. It's gonna smell like roses or whatever this is. Here's how you're gonna do it. You can do this all yourself. I gave you 5 steps to apply. Or you could just book a call with my team. There's a link right above in the description or down below in the comments. If you book a call with us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure out all your debts, the best strategy, mathematically, that will pay off your debts. And we're gonna be able to show you exactly how that looks by putting all your debts in order into our software called the Vault, and then the Vault is gonna mathematically pay your debts off for you. Now, that requires you booking a call. So remember, in the description, click the link and book a call. And we're gonna help you get through this, and we're gonna show you the best way for you to be debt-free. Thanks for joining me today. My name's Chris Naugle, and we'll see you on the next one.